Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the seven-time runner-up of Matt's mom's favorite podcast, Death by Cheeseburger.
We have an intro. Welcome, once again, as the intro says, to the seven-time runner-up for my mom's favorite podcast, Death by Cheeseburger. I am one of your hosts, the marvelous Matt Jablonski, and that's not a superlative I would usually use, and I'm just stalling for time because I'm just going to intro him anyway.
Oh, it's okay.
The bodacious Ben Terhune, who does not have his microphone in proper range of his face at the moment.
Close. I'm moving towards it. I'm sharing.
Yeah, you're not even making a wavelength, motherfucker.
I'm making us social media famous.
Well, do it.
All right,
Do
I'm
it.
doing
I will
doing
fucking do this while you do that.
All right.
We'll be fucking. That's fucking teamwork.
It's fucking teamwork. I'm also now the proud owner of benterhoon.com.
benterhoon.com, the most narcissistic endeavor
that I've undertaken in a really long time, to be quite honest with you.
Actually, I was listening to you on the Stream of Consciousness podcast.
The Stream of Consciousness
with Ben
yes.
Terhune.
Yes, with Ben Terhune. I'm the solo star.
Where
of my
you
own
were
show.
you were venting about how you had this issue that you were having a difficult time with because it felt as if you were doing the most narcissistic thing ever, and I would have to argue that there's nothing narcissistic about it at all.
I think it's shameless self-promotion.
Yeah, you're promoting your art.
My art.
Who else is going to do it?
I feel really nice about it when you call it art. Like, it
It
gives me
is.
warm and fuzzies inside.
Not everyone can sit down and just like bang out a podcast. Like,
Yeah.
and we have a pretty good we've had a couple rough episodes, but we have a pretty good chemistry.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Stand up, that's a lot of writing. Then you got to go out and like grind your axe on stage and like see how it works. And it's not like you go out and just start chopping bitches' heads off the first time. Like,
Right.
I've only had my first time so far, but as many of you may be able to note, if you're a repeat listener, I have my voice back. I wish I had an
He does have
applause
his
break
voice back.
on a button that would play right now.
Will Mike Tyson be like making a return to Death by Cheeseburger?
Not with a setup like that, he won't.
Well, no,
Like,
but
no.
eventually.
Mike Tyson is lurking. He's in the wings, waiting to swoop in
I'm waiting
when it's appropriate.
All right.
Swoop in. I got to get it
Swoop in.
right again. It's been a while. So there will be probably
for that.
liberal usage of my voice
All right.
because now I can.
Liberal usage.
Liberal usage
Prepare
of my
for that.
voice.
There we
As
go.
opposed to liberal usage of my throat.
So tell me, how's your week been so far? Let's start.
How's my week been?
Yeah. Let's start there. We always start with the bearing of the grievances for the week.
Well, all right. It's been okay. Actually, it's not been a bad week. I made a decision to clean up my days, and I'm not going to get too specific on what I mean by that, but I've been thinking clearly
Okay.
until after a specific time of day.
All right.
I've imposed some rules on some things,
Some rules. Okay.
and so far so good. And ultimately, that's a thing that I'm going to try to phase out of my life. I don't want to say entirely, but at least for a while.
Yeah.
To prove a point. I think you probably know what I'm talking about. Most people with a brain probably get what I'm talking about.
Sure.
What time is it? Oh, well, it's 3:16, but it's probably 4:20 somewhere in 4 minutes. Anyway. So, just been kind of trying to get my mind right, get my grind right.
Yeah.
And, I'm still a little foggy.
You're
They
foggy.
gave me some medication because I don't know how much I talked about the insomnia spell I was in, but
Yeah.
for a couple of months, I barely slept, and when I did, it was just kind of like I was like the dude on Mortal Kombat when they're like, "Finish him,
Finish
and
him.
just
Okay.
standing there, and then I just fall over.
Yeah, I've been sleeping pretty good here lately, except for last night. I was a little too high to sleep. I just kind of laid in bed and stared at the ceiling.
Laid in bed, stared at the ceiling. Did you count the tiles?
I mean, I was so high last night that I laid down in the backseat of someone's car for an hour and a half and counted the stars. That was pretty much where we're at. I have
Yeah?
not been that high in quite some time.
Did you manage to like astral project out to them?
I didn't have the full-on like out-of-body experience, but like colors were a lot more brighter and sounds were a lot more intense. And then the rest of me was a lot more fatigued, as if I was melting into the back seat of this poor kid's car that I was in.
That sounds like a pretty good time, actually.
Oh man, it was a complete and total fucking shit show. I guess how this started was like a couple days ago, and what led to me being in this guy's back seat was I friended a guy on Facebook, another local comedian by the name of Aaron Kinney. And
Aaron Kinney, shout out to you. I don't know you.
Yeah, there you go. Aaron Kinney, shout out.
I mean personally, but I don't know you professionally either.
But he hits me
you
up.
You want to get our monitor up there, dog?
He hits me up in like the middle of the night. It's like 11 p.m. or so. It's on almost midnight.
Oh,
and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "So, quick question." He's like, "Would you be interested in playing a show at the Boogie?" And the Boogie is like a small town, Indiana, out in the middle of backwoods biker fest. Like it's
Yeah,
you have the orgies, the automatic weapons, the hard drugs, and the booze.
Word.
And like, I'm like, well, fuck, I'll try anything once, twice if I like it. So of course I'm gonna do it. And we get out there last night, and it's in the middle of nowhere. We're literally driving 12 miles out to the country, like meandering down aimless roads that look like fucking rattlesnakes with their fucking curvature and everything. And it's so far out there.
Scoliosis.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Like I'm waiting
Scoliosis
for someone
on the back of Mother Nature.
I'm waiting for someone to abduct me and take my kidneys. I'm so far out at this point.
Sweet.
And we get there and like there's no real MC like who knows anything about us, who's been briefed on like who we are or nothing. Basically what they know is there's a gaggle of kids who are comedians coming in from town, and they're going to do an hour and a half set, which was more than we knew when we got there. We didn't know we were going to be talking for an hour and a half. And like we're all comedians basically, the five of us who were there who've only done maybe 5-10 minutes at a time for like our top amount of stage time.
Right.
And now the five of us have to basically go ahead and fill in like 20 minutes apiece if we possibly can.
Fuck.
It was a thing, and like they told us, they said when we got there, like we can't give you any monetary, like real monetary compensation for this, but we can get you high as fuck. And I was like,
I mean, reasonable.
I was like, all right, well, if you're just gonna get me high as fuck, like I'm not gonna complain. Like, give me fucking baked, I'll do the best I possibly can.
It's
for
something.
you. Yeah, and like it started out rather like it started out the way it started out indicated the way it probably should have ended, but thankfully Logan Scott Hendry, who went along with us, was like our saving grace at the end of the night. But the first comedian went up, like, he bombed within the first 3 minutes, and it was stage anxiety. You could see it all over him. Like, basically, it's like Tent City out there, and it's like who would you expect to have at, like, your regular Kentucky family
that's
reunion?
not, yeah.
For a crowd.
That's not a normal comedy crowd.
No, that's definitely not a normal crowd. That's not a club setting. That's in the middle of a field. It was literally called Party
You
in the
might as
Pasture.
well go do stand-up at the Gathering of the Juggalos. It's the same level of, like, outside of the box.
I got a lot of ICP jokes, and they're all of a derogatory fashion, but I think those would have went over better than some of my.
I love Juggalos, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. I do. I think they're cool people. I think there's, like, any group of people, there's douchebags in them.
Okay.
But I think the core of their message, and I was a big fan of ICP for a lot of years till I realized that it was very elementary shit they were doing.
Yeah, yeah.
But God bless them because they made millions off of it.
Yeah.
But, like, the overall message of the community is family.
Yeah.
And I can't hate on that.
Okay,
like,
I can see it. Yeah,
I think that people just are like, oh, they're sweaty, fat white people. Like, we don't like them. And
the
I'm
majority of Americans
I'm
are
like,
sweaty, fat, white people.
excuse me, let me just let you know that for the most part, the sweaty, fat ones are the ones you don't got to worry about.
Yeah.
Because even if you are racist, you're probably not going to get off the couch to chase you or do anything, burn any crosses, put on any fucking... I don't want to put on any more layers, so I'm damn sure not going to put on a white costume.
That's too much work to be
like, yeah, dude, no, fuck. It's just like rape, man. It's too much work, and I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I can see it.
So, yeah, I think that the fat, sweaty white people should be... You don't maybe want to embrace them, but
no. Probably not. Not unless you got a towel.
I'm not sweaty right now, which actually I should take a second.
I was sweating my balls off last
to
night.
apologize if it's on the audio, as I'm sure it is. I have one of these big, like, portable air conditioners in my living room, and I'm not turning that shit off to do a podcast because it gets hot as fuck in here real fast.
We in the trailer hood. It's like bacon in a tin can.
I got a black roof on top of this thing.
Yeah, that's
and
even better.
The walls are painted black.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now they can pull us out of here and go ahead and judge the decay and how cooked we are inside.
Yeah, so like if you hear the air conditioner, deal with it or don't.
It's more work for the coroner.
I'm sorry. I'm already fat. I don't want to be sweaty.
All right, now you're throwing me off topic. Let me get back.
Yeah,
to
I know.
How could you do this?
This is what I do.
Derailed my train.
That's how I roll.
No, but my set was like I don't know. It was like 8-9 minutes of awesome. I did good. I held the crowd, and like I got heckled a bunch because they're bikers and they're getting drunk out in the middle of nowhere, and they're gonna give me shit because I'm not one of them. That's for damn sure. I didn't fit in, obviously. And I said shit like, look up here. Pay me the same amount of attention you would your parole officer, okay? I was like, act like this is serious for a minute. And then I made some jokes about having kids, and they got a little upset about having kids. And I was like, now I know damn good and well y'all got kids because some of you haven't used condoms since the Reagan administration. Probably a thing you should have said or should not have said. I don't know. It's debatable. But so yeah, and then like as it progressed,
I haven't either.
As it progressed, I think my training wheels fell off probably about 9 minutes in, and the last 3 minutes, like, just went down bombing in succession because I was about out of material, and I was just trying to like
Good
stay on
point,
stage
Jake.
as long as possible. And
Sorry.
it was so bad at the end of my set, someone literally walked on stage, another comedian, and handed me a joint and had me take a hit of a joint while I had a microphone in my hand in front of all these people, and goes, "Here, I have a feeling you might need this." And like I've never been on stage telling jokes, and it's gone so bad at the end that someone had to offer me drugs at the end to go ahead and change my temperament, go ahead and put me in a better mood.
That's not the worst way to end a time, though.
Oh,
Like,
no.
I mean,
No.
because I went up and I bombed. I got like a couple laughs, but overall, I did what everyone does on their first time, and I bombed.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, if someone handed me a doobie right at the end of that, I wouldn't have complained.
Right?
Because
Yeah.
you know what ran me out of there right after that was like I got insane heartburn and
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I gotta go. And like, so yeah, I guess if someone handed me a doobie snack right then, I probably would have stayed the rest of the night.
Yeah,
Like,
it was just
"Hey,
was
give me
just-
some nachos.
It was just a level of rough I was not accustomed to dealing with at that time. And like fucking when it came down to it, our saving grace was the last act of the night. It was Logan Scott Hendry. He goes out there and he puts on like a country voice, like a country voice, inflection in his voice. He's got the country accent down. He's like, "I'm called Fat Louie," and he just starts going off with like, a southern drawl and shit and telling his
Yeah.
jokes. And like he's got jokes for people of all types, so, like from all walks of life. And so like he pulled out some of his more like disparaging jokes that like really would have made people cry in a comedy club, and they fucking loved him, and they thought he was like basically the hillbilly version of Fat Jesus.
Is this? I'm trying to remember. Is it Belly Button come?
No, it wasn't
No,
Belly
no,
Button. Guy.
okay,
Belly Button guy's a different comedian.
okay,
He's
all right.
Cody Cummings. Shout out to Cody Cummings.
You kind of described them very similarly.
yeah,
so
I can totally see it.
I can't remember everybody, but
No,
yeah.
he's,
Anyway,
one of the hosts of Bear's Place. It's over on East 3rd Street. Every Monday night, I try to do a set there. Come on down, 8 p.m. But
the host, the guy in the tie.
he's like one of them.
Oh, I don't. It's been a couple months.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Towards the end of my set, I might have like in a moment of self-loathing and aggravation because the last 3 minutes didn't go how I pictured them to. Eaten what is known as. Well, not ass. No. A beautiful, delectable cannabis brownie with peanut butter and chocolate chips in it.
not ass.
And it was from a local bakery called Dark Side Bakery. Like, that's not an ominous name for a bakery that's going to put drugs in there.
That
Like,
sounds
confectionery goods.
fantastic. I'm either picturing Superman or Star Wars. Either way, I'm happy.
It kicked in probably about like a half hour after I ate it. And at which part my like heart was racing and I was sweating all over profusely, and my entire body
Went
just
deep,
had the
dog.
tingles. Oh, I went real deep. I had the tingles, and like then I just couldn't stand upright without leaning on something. Like I was melting onto whatever I was near.
Yeah. You needed a furry wall to stroke.
I needed a furry wall to stroke. I needed some fuzzy dice to play with, a glow in the dark slinky.
Yeah.
I needed fucking something. I was
Something to
gone.
like occupy your sensories.
Oh, I was so gone. And then, like, the worst part was, like, they have this concert. And it's this band that sounds a bit like a AC/DC or maybe Rush. And, like, they do, like, older, like, rock covers. And, like, they're a fucking amazing band. I forget their name. I totally would give them a plug if I remember their name.
We're gonna call them old time rock and roll.
Old-time rock and roll band was the shit. And throughout the course of their playing their music, which they did an incredible set on stage, like, I kept getting more and more high. Like, I was not able to plateau. I just kept getting more and more high the longer I stood there. And sooner or later, like, the music became unbearable. I was like, this is way too loud for me. I'm not able to tolerate music right now.
Well, did it get to the point where it was like incoherent?
Well, like
the music was so magnified that it was kind of like
it just sounded like an extra heartbeat in my ears at a
Yeah.
certain distinct rhythm. Like,
right.
That was how high I
Yeah,
was.
it just kind of all came together.
Yeah, and I tried to tell my friends, like, they were by a bonfire, the two comedians I came with, and I was like, I'm gonna go sit in the car, but I was so stoned, like, words eluded me, and like how to properly pronounce words,
which is a rarity for
was
you.
the thing. And like, yeah, it's definitely a rarity for me. So what I did instead was pointed towards like the back of the lot where the cars were parked, and I was like,
Babe
go in there,
Ruth.
I'm gonna go there, and just point at the direction of the car. I mean, I'm really
Babe Ruth calling his shot.
Yeah, I called my shot.
Yeah, and he went and shot it.
And I felt like it took me a year to walk to the car. Like I was so under the influence that like a second seemed like an hour, It was one of those fucking things. It's like I was so high, I was paranoid to the point that people knew I was high. Like, am I maintaining? Am I able to go ahead and like, feel okay about this? And I was like, fuck it, I can't even talk. These people have no idea I'm high. Like, I'm just gonna fucking go take a walk and lay down somewhere. And that's what I end up having to do.
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. It looks like our video froze, but not much we can do about that.
Nothing we can do about it at the time.
But yeah, that sounds like it was actually a pretty cool night.
It was definitely,
all things considered.
It was definitely a cool night.
It could have been worse.
No, they were even nice to me. Like, when I was like camped out in the car and I was laying in the back seat, and like they were just kind of like, they were like, "Hey, we're checking on you once in a while to make sure you're not dead. You haven't asphyxiated on carbon monoxide."
Well, that's
and stuff
good.
like that. And I was like, "Well, that's really cool of you." But so far, I'm just counting the stars. I'm having really inner deep monologues with myself with introspective thoughts about how I've lived my life. And whether or not I've lived it in the way I'm comfortable with while I'm this high in the back seat of a car.
Yeah, try shaking that mouse a little bit or something.
Try shaking
like
the mouse and see if it works.
I don't know. Sometimes the little processor needs a little kick in the processor.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you can hear us. The video appears to be frozen and shit.
The video appears to be frozen.
We don't know if it really is, and what are we gonna do about it? Really? Facebook? Fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg's fault.
Son of a bitch.
It's all Mark Zuckerberg's fault.
You piece of shit, Mark Zuckerberg.
I don't like Mark Zuckerberg anymore.
You were doing all that fucking testifying like a big bitch.
Do you see? He's got this.
Can you
video
go to our
up.
post somewhere, like on another page, and see if we're
I'm looking.
But yeah, fuck Mark Zuckerberg. We're
always
sitting here on
technical difficulties
Facebook
in the realm of
Live, and I'm like,
podcasting.
yo, you know what? Fuck you, Daddy Facebook.
Yeah.
We'll go to YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
Is it playing?
It looks like it's loading. I think it's buffering at this
It's
point.
buffering.
Yeah, it's buffering on and off.
Buffering the Vampire
Live
Slayer.
video is interrupted now. Look.
It should resume. It should resume shortly. It's
should resume.
paused.
It's paused.
How do we unpause it?
I don't know. It is paused right now.
Is there?
We're gonna have to edit it in time for technical difficulties. Apparently, what do
Yeah,
you want to do? Reload it?
It says still live, but I don't know yet.
I
We
think
might
should
have
reload
to
it.
redo it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll take a little second here in the audio and just acknowledge that we're distracted because we're fixing the video, and this
fixing the
is
video.
probably going to be shorter than most of our podcasts.
This is true. This is totally true.
Because I have a hard out. I have to be somewhere at 5. It's now 3:29.
Even better.
I'm dating. Well, I'm not dating us. I'm timing us.
Okay. All right, let's put this back
Giving
up
us
here.
a timestamp. Here we go. We're going live on Facebook.
3, 2, 1.
Once again.
Okay, now we have
Oh,
a
hey,
video
we're
feed.
back. Now,
All right.
let's see.
Now I got to share the shit out of this
yeah,
all
we
over
gotta,
again.
like, all do that again.
Oh boy.
So, this is not a clusterfuck.
No, this is not going poorly at all. This is like everything else in my week. Everything I've tried this week has went to complete and total absolute shit.
I know, right?
I can't get nobody to hang out with me and do anything fun. I ended up dropping an 80 pounds of meat in a 220-pound deep freezer.
Oh,
on my
yeah,
fat
there's a
fucking
story.
foot.
I know you already told it on the stream of consciousness.
Yes.
But, so, all right, how did that go down?
Well, I live part-time with my girlfriend, which is totally fine for me. All right, no big deal. But it means once in a while I have to check on my house, and occasionally problems arise in my house, which means if the power goes out in your deep freezer that you got for free, kicks off, then all of a sudden all the meat that you have in said deep freeze is going to go fucking rancid and spoil. Nothing you can do about it, especially if you haven't been home for 4 days or so. And
so then, because obviously inside your place, you're not going to open that up and manually fish all the meat out of it.
I thought about trying to do that, like I really did, and I work in like a field of nothing but like trash and like semi-dirty people and that type of thing, and so like I'm used to nasty. I'm really used to nasty.
I'm used to nasty.
Nasty is fine, but this was a level of nasty in which like my nostrils tried to self-close to avoid the whole fucking thing. Like my nostrils pretty much said, "No, this is a smell. We're not even gonna let you try to breathe in." Like that's how nasty.
Yeah,
it
this
was.
shit ain't happening.
No. So I had this bright idea because I live in the remote wilderness pretty much that I was gonna go ahead and pick this fucking freezer up like I'm the Incredible Hulk, and then just go ahead and like walk it out into the woods, and then that's how I'll go ahead and deal with it.
All right, it looks like the video feed is now working.
The video feed is now working.
Okay,
Here we go.
So that sounds shitty. So you He-Man the motherfucker out into the woods.
I He-Man the motherfucker out in the
and
woods.
then you had an accident.
And then I had an accident per se in the form of like the terrain
He
was
shit
uneven.
his pants.
I did not shit my pants. I have shit my pants. I will not go ahead and say I've never shit my pants because everybody shit your pants. That's the thing.
Have I've told the shit my pants story.
I
haven't
think so. Yes.
All right. Anyway,
But so like I'm carrying this deep freeze through the wood. I'm stepping over like logs and everything else, and then eventually my feet go out from underneath me, and my left foot turns to a way that your left foot isn't supposed to bend. Like that son of a bitch is at an L shape, and my ankle is completely rolled. I'm hearing popping sounds and cracking sounds. I can't tell if it's bones, ligaments, or the brush underneath my feet in the woods.
It's a little bit all three.
Yeah, and then fucking like I fall backwards with a 220-pound deep freezer with 80 pounds of rancid meat on top of my chest. So I gotta like push that off of me and do the best bench press I've ever done, like for my own personal record, and then go ahead and try to reevaluate and like see how bad my mechanical injury is to myself, see how bad my pride's wounded, and then just try to go from there. While I'm out in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone reception and the inability to call for help. Is in the history of dumb things I've done, that's probably one that definitely tops the charts.
So. So yeah, that's an event.
That's an event.
I'm not gonna get into specifics. I was a little concerned about my job this week, and I'm still not quite unconcerned about it.
Okay.
But things went all right, and I've had an amount of communication with a certain person that has kept me from freaking out.
Nice.
Which is probably bad that I even need that, but whatever.
Okay.
Whatever keeps me from fucking losing my shit right now, I kind of have to latch on to. So, what else did I do? What I did do...
What you did do?
Is I started working because I realized my voice was back, and I'm not... there was a point in time in my life where I was a fairly good singer.
Yeah.
That point in time in my life is about 12 years in the past.
I've never had any musical ability, so
but
I won't ever become one.
I have written some songs, and so I've started working out how to like record them and stuff. And
yeah,
most of the music I've done production on up until now has been like hip hop, so it's really easy, I think, as far as different types of things to compose and produce. So now I'm starting to try to figure out how to record live instruments, and acoustic guitars are a little bit tricky because you got to like figure out, without getting too boring about it, but you got to figure out which microphones and where to put it on the guitar. And then you got to match your playing to like you got to make sure you're not buzzing out notes, and you got to
stuff I can't
make
do.
sure everything's clear. And I'm a sloppy guitar player. Like if you don't play guitar and you listen to me play guitar and then I can sing while I'm doing it, you'll be impressed. So like I know about enough to like if I was like slightly less awkward and more attractive, I could get laid with it, and I probably still could, to be honest, if I actually tried.
I've seen a lot of people with barely like any musical talent get laid, and they've looked far worse than you if it makes you feel better.
I that's about how much guitar I know. So like, I'm impressive to people who couldn't imagine how to play a guitar.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of people with abilities, I also interviewed Kevin Goatee last week. That was a good time. Goatee. Yeah.
That's that episode 10.5.
Yeah, that's our episode 10.5 on YouTube.
That's available on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's the host of Comics Watching Comics on Amazon. He's got his own .com as well because, well, that's what narcissists do. Get your own .com, I guess. It was probably one of the weirdest things I've ever done as far as a phone interview is concerned. Like the recording and the audio of it turned out pretty well. I was happy with that.
Yeah.
But like I didn't really know a whole lot about him because like I'm not familiar with the show and stuff. So I had to bone up on like who he was as a person, and I had like 2 days to maybe do it. And it didn't go the way I thought it would. First of all, I mispronounced his last name. And like it was Goatee, and it was how I said it was Goody, like Goody. And basically I have a friend who has the same last name, and I may or may not have used to buy large quantities of marijuana off this guy like 10, 12 years ago. And he always said Goody's got the goodies, and I thought that's how you pronounce the last name. But apparently it's not. And I couldn't convey this story to the semi-famous guy we're trying to interview right now, because like probably letting them know you at 12 years ago you used to buy weed by the elbow, not a good thing.
So now you just outed him after the fact.
Well, I mean, after the fact is cool. During the fact, not so much. Not so much.
Well, yeah, you never know how that's gonna go. See, here's the thing I was wrestling with how we would do interviews.
Yeah.
Because neither one of us are exactly like interviewer type people.
We're really not.
Like if I can sit down in a room with you and I can have a conversation with you, that's what we need. Because like if I've got to sit and dance around your fucking like whatever sensibilities or whatever, like, look, if you don't like something I say, feel free to challenge me on it, but like don't get your fucking panties in a wad around me because that's gonna turn me into a bully.
Yeah, I can see it.
Because I think that all right, let me explain why I would become bullyish. Is because I think that people who try to dictate what other people are or are not allowed to say
Yeah.
are bullies first.
I can see it, yeah.
So you're a weak bully. You want the law, or you want my boss, or you want the teacher to dictate what I'm allowed to say, or else I'm removed from your life.
Right.
Right? So here's the thing, though. I have to sit and listen to people gossip about relationships and people having kids and babies and their fucking husband problems and all this shit. I've got to sit and listen to all of it, and it annoys the fuck out of me.
Right, right.
I hate it. I hate when I'm posted up near like 6 old ladies, when I'm within an earshot of them, because all I'm going to hear all day is people's private fucking business.
Yeah.
But the only difference is that when they're talking, they don't say fucking shit and ass.
Okay, I can see it.
So they sit there and they get to say all this bullshit, talk all kinds of shit about people, judge everyone's lives, do it. That's all perfectly okay. But if I'm joking around about something, totally not serious, not harming anybody, and they hear me say fuck, they get to run to the office. And it's like, you were the bully first, so when you start acting sensitive about what people are saying, in a fucking country where we're guaranteed freedom of speech, cunt, fucking, I get bullyish. I'm just like, fuck you, I'm going to shut you down. I don't care, I'll use whatever ridiculous logic.
What you're talking about are bullies who hate confrontation. That's what kills me. Like, you've ever met a bully who just avoids confrontation? That's the fucking weirdest thing. Like, they'll start shit, they'll say a bunch of horrible, rude shit to you and go ahead and pick you apart as a person. But when it comes time for you to defend yourself and everything, they just dip out.
And they go run to whatever authority applies to the
human
situation.
Human resources or a boss.
Or the police. Or whatever.
Yeah, the police has been done.
Oh, my favorite is when you push somebody to a point where they can no longer take your bullshit and there's no justice to be had for
None
them.
whatsoever.
So they take that into their own hands, and then they end up the criminal.
I've been around a lot of people in this
and
life.
It's
Those
just
people
like,
piss me off the most.
Fuck you. That is the ultimate form. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm above being passive aggressive,
right?
Because I have definitely done it. I've done it recently,
and
I even have like recognized that this is about to be a passive aggressive action, and then I take it because I feel like that's my option.
You willingly know that you're passive aggressive and you're going to do it.
Not all the time.
I'm doing it.
But all right, here's the thing.
All right,
with a man, I can be aggressive, and if it fucking gets boiled down to it, we can slug it out, and I might get my ass kicked. Something might happen. Now, a woman, on the other hand, if she wants to fucking act like a dick, all you have is words.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So now I've got to figure out, what am I going to do? How can I do this in a way that's going to get you to the conversation I want to have with you?
I see, yeah.
All right, so it's not really that I just want to sit and make you feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But if you're going to ignore me while at the same time, this is getting too specific, but while at the same time, and this actually hasn't happened super recently, but
it's not recent. Okay, we'll go with
if you're going to ignore me to the point where I got to say something to make you feel shitty to talk to me, all the while telling me you care, and then, all this shit that's happening, it's like, at a certain point, I'm going to call you out when I want to talk.
Sure.
And, that, that's how that's going to go.
Oh, okay.
I'm not hardcore against being passive aggressive. I think it's like anything else in the world. It can be a tool.
Yeah.
But the people who are passive aggressive but cause consequences for other people, that sucks. So, and that's to me is a different thing entirely.
So I'm going to derail the train for a second.
Okay.
I got a message from Wilcon Cannon like just 5 minutes ago that said it's one of the comedians we were with when we went out and did the biker show last night. Said he thought there was acid in the edibles they fed us.
Well,
you know what? I'm not even mad.
Well, hang on. The thing is though is that I know where we live, and we don't have a heavy supply of good edibles in the area.
We really don't.
So, if they're high-dosage edibles, those are known to give you similar effects
dude,
to
they
acid.
were deep. They had to be at least 300 to 400 milligrams of THC.
Right.
And for me, who smokes the occasional 1 or 2 joints once a week, like, that was an onslaught to my system, and I'm totally okay with that.
It's entirely possible that there was acid in it, because you have no idea.
Right.
But, like, it could have just been a heavy dose, and you're not used to taking it that way.
I'm totally not used to a heavy dose.
It processes
I fully admit
through
that.
your liver instead of your lungs into your bloodstream.
It's a completely different metabolism process. Like, it goes straight through your liver, yeah.
So, a lot of people are known to have hallucinatory... A lot of people are known to hallucinate when they eat edibles.
I messaged my friend Sam today, and Sam is the owner of Oak Fires Glass in Ellisville. He's a glass blower, makes everything from like dab rigs to cremation marbles. So if you have a relative who dies,
cremation marbles.
If you have a relative who dies and you want to carry your relative with you always, because this is not creepy, you can go ahead and have your relative burnt into a bead of glass, pretty much, and then you can wear them around your neck because that's not strange at all.
Ladies, if you have a gentleman in your life, and you're into that kinky, rough backdoor fun, just know that if he dies, you can have his ashes put into a glass butt plug that you can wear with you at all times
for the
low price of $69.95.
It's like $300 actually.
Well, for the low price of like $300.
It's an insane price to have someone die and then go ahead and put their ashes in a marble. Like it's up there with the whole cremation.
That's kind of like fucking a corpse.
A little bit,
sort
bit,
of like.
Yeah, I can see it. But no, I talked to him.
Get your freak on, is what I'm saying. Like,
I talked to him this morning.
Let your freak flag fly.
That's so bad.
Get your lovers put into butt plugs and dildos after they die in car wrecks.
I would be the happiest widower ever if I didn't deal with that shit. All right, like, so I talked to him and I was like, how bad is it when you go ahead and ingest like 400 to 500 milligrams of THC? Is it like real bad? And he's like, when edibles, he's like, I can deal with it. He's like, I can eat about 4. He's like 2,000 milligrams or so is my limit. He's like, then I start throwing up and can't sleep for days on end. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, but you won't die even if you feel like death. And I was like, well, I never had any negative thoughts last night. I just had the inability to move and a host of debilitating physical symptoms coinciding with that inability to do anything productive whatsoever besides stare up at the ceiling and contemplate like my life choices. So yeah, I don't think there was LSD in them last night. LSD makes me a lot more energetic, and then like I don't trip as hard as everybody else.
Usually there's a lot of laughter involved in that, or unless you freak out. But
I've never really had a bad acid trip. I've had bad shroom trips, but never an acid trip.
So I don't know why, but I've been thinking about a couple of things that we've touched base with on the podcast over the years that we've been making this podcast.
The years, you say. The years.
Yeah.
We're veterans.
So
now.
one thing we've oft discussed was my weight loss journey.
How is your weight loss journey going?
Well, my weight loss journey is going.
Okay.
It's going slowish. As you can see, I'm still a fan of the sugary beverage. Full Throttle, hit me up. I'd love a sponsorship.
That's gonna go well.
I'll promote your shit. I like it. It tastes good. It probably kills you of cancer. I don't give a fuck.
Everything kills you and has
everything kills you by cancer.
Your microwave, your cell phone.
Yeah, dudes, keep that in your pocket right next to your nuts.
Too much masturbation can all kill you.
Too much masturbation.
Masturbation. If you masturbate too much, you put yourself at risk for testicular cancer and prostate problems.
I always heard it was the opposite. Like if you didn't masturbate enough.
Well, now you can masturbate too much. You can not masturbate enough. You have to find that sweet spot in the middle so you don't get the cancer. That's where we're at. If you find the sweet spot, you won't have prostate problems and testicular problems.
Now I'm paranoid. I'm gonna be on WebMD all night. Like I'm gonna have to cancel my plans.
I had a friend who got stung by a hornet in his pinky this week, and he was telling me like yesterday. He was like, "So I WebMD'd this shit," and he's like, "I don't know if I'm gonna be dead or not." And I was like, "Give it a couple hours. Take some ibuprofen. You'll be fine."
Yeah.
Like it amazes me what influences like WebMD has on people in our society, because all of a sudden you have a cough and you get 12 types of cancer from the internet.
Well, everybody wants the easiest possible explanation with the least amount of work.
Right.
And it's like, that's not how you get good results.
It's really
like, have you ever taken a math test? Did you prepare for it like that? Most of us did. Did it work out very well? Maybe a C. C's aren't great.
C's aren't great.
They're okay.
Nobody
You'll
wants
get
to
by.
Yeah, right.
But they're not great.
They're not great. I can see that.
So like, and don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of all the same shit. It's not like I don't do it, but I have peace with certain things because I understand that.
Okay.
Like, at least I understand that, and I don't, like.
I can see it,
but I forgot what brought us to that point.
One of the things we often wanted to address in this podcast, and you had a list of things you wanted to list.
Oh yeah. Well, if we're gonna go all the way back,
I mean, we're going back. We're going deep because I went deep last night.
All right, we're gonna
recovering.
All right, so yeah, I have been steadily losing weight.
Okay.
There was a short period where I basically gained and lost the same 5 pounds like 3 or 4 times.
Okay, so you broke even a few weeks.
But now it's kind of pacing. I got to get to where I'm like eating better on the weekend.
Yeah,
because I sort of like crash.
Yeah.
And what I do is like I spent like $50 on Chinese food the other night. Now, let's understand that that's 4 just tiny egg rolls.
Yeah.
And then 2 entrees, and then of course they give you full things of white rice with those, which is wasteful.
Sure.
Because fuck that shit, I don't want it.
Nobody wants it.
And then I got a thing of like chicken fried rice, and with the delivery and all that, it was like $50.
Jesus God.
So like, yeah, that was 2 entrees and some fried rice.
Yeah, $50.
So I didn't need that, and I was, like, what if a magical woman showed up all of a sudden and wanted to hang out?
Sure, yeah.
Hey, I have 2 entrees.
There's nothing better than a fictitious dinner guest.
I
who's
know,
probably
right?
never going to show up.
I sat and talked to her all night long.
I bet you did.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, and then I had like a Strom last night, and then I had to get some cheese bread because they don't give you cheese sauce when you order it online, except for if you order breadsticks.
I like how you're rationalizing your
or cheese
overconsumption
bread.
of food. Like you're just basically saying
So,
this is
like,
the restaurant's problem, not mine.
I mean, I didn't eat it all last night, and it's not gone yet. But like,
yeah.
so yeah, I had like, I always eat carbs like crazy on the weekend,
Okay.
and I don't eat any all week long.
Uh-huh.
And so that's the thing I gotta like.
Do you think making up for lost time on the weekends is being a detriment to your
No,
diet?
I think well, yeah, kind of, but like what's actually happening is I'll lose like 5 to 7 and gain back like maybe 2.
Okay.
And then so I'm actually getting a net gain of 3 to 5 pounds a week, like loss of 3
All
to
right.
5 pounds
All
a
right.
week. So like I'm still doing okay, but like I could do better.
Okay.
And,
you can always do better.
I go to see a specialist about the hernia I have this week, and hopefully I can talk him into just doing the fucking surgery.
How is the hernia? Is your little friend okay?
It hurts.
It hurts?
Man. It
All right.
hurts, but it's not like they told me the thing to be afraid of is if it like gets stiff and like won't move.
I can see how that'd be a problem.
So
I have
like
that problem a lot.
that's like the indication that you're about to have bad shit happen.
Oh, it's where you get a strangulated hernia.
Pain is normal.
Okay, pain is normal.
But a lot of pain is not. So I'm gonna talk to the doc, and I might exaggerate my pain level a bit. And
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
because I have my days where it's like it hurts like a motherfucker, but then the next day I'm fine, and it's so I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
But it hasn't been bad enough to run to the ER.
You're gonna ask the doctor for that OxyContin, that hard stuff.
The doctors will give me whatever they give me for that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want a pain prescription unless we're doing the surgery.
You're
to
gonna
be
get
honest.
mad lit on the pain pills and do a podcast.
If they give me surgery, they will give me painkillers.
Are we
gonna
do an after surgery podcast from your hospital bed?
No,
Okay, I think
because
that'd be
it's not
awesome.
usually one you got to stay there long
I
for.
think our listeners would love to see you under the influence of
I'm not
anesthesia.
saying. Oh no,
I think
they're
that'd
not
be
gonna
awesome.
get that.
I think that'd be great.
They're not gonna get that because I'm just telling you now, Mom. If you record me coming out of surgery, I will sue you.
You're gonna sue your mother.
I will sue you.
Does she have a lot to sue her for? Are we going?
No.
No, so we're not going to get rich off this
I will
lawsuit.
sue you for the house that I want to buy from you on contract.
Okay, all right.
And I will sue you so that you have to sell it to me on contract.
Oh, okay. So now we
I'm
just want
going
to render our mother homeless.
inconvenience you by making you have to move.
Now we just want mom to be homeless.
No,
is what
because
we're at.
my dad is resourceful enough
yeah.
that he'll get them a new home. Like,
Okay, okay.
He's better at that shit than I am, and I'm trying to learn from him.
I see.
But I'm a lot of years behind.
Oh,
Anyway, I had about a 15-year period with no dad in my life.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm working some of that out.
Okay.
Anyway, live video. Yeah, man, I don't know whether this fucker's working or not. So
it's going on and off. Live video has been going on and off.
Facebook's fucking up today.
About every 15 to 20 minutes, live video keeps taking a massive
I would
shit.
punch Mark Zuckerberg right in his Jufro if he were here.
I just saw a 3-minute video of him talking about barbecues this morning.
Oh, yeah?
All
Well,
I
you
got out
can
of it
barbecue
was that he
these
likes-
nuts.
That's all I got out of it was he likes Sweet Baby Ray's, and he just kept saying the word meat over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
I like
thought
to
it
grill
was,
my meat.
I
like
thought
to
it was
beat
for
my
like
meat.
it was for a porno that was.
I
soon
like
be
to
filmed.
shake hands with and meet my meat.
I could see that.
I could write a whole rap song about my meat.
I could probably do 5 minutes on Mark Zuckerberg and meat. I think I could probably
Yeah.
do a tight 5 minutes.
A tight 5 minutes.
Yeah, I could do a tight 5
This
minutes.
says the live video has ended.
This is where we're at right now. Well,
And,
we can't win them all. I'm not putting it back up again. Well,
I
there's
mean,
only
we're
so much you can
doing
do.
the best we can.
There's
We'll
only
have
so much
the
you can
audio
do.
podcast.
Yeah, we'll have the audio.
Oh no, it looks like no. That's something else.
I'll just have to
entirely,
promote the
man.
audio this week. This is what I'll have to do more. Is promote the audio
I
this
guess
week.
maybe we should reset the router. Maybe we should reset the router before we wait.
Wait, is it
Hang on,
more?
no, we're still live, dog.
Are we still live?
I don't know. It's doing some shit like
I don't know. It's not catching up with us.
We're off
It's going
track
in and
again.
out.
No, live video interrupt. Something's going on.
Something keeps going on with Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook's being a motherfucker today. Important updates are pending.
Remind me later. There
God,
we
our
go.
technology is just all over the place, I tell you. I'm panicking now.
Welcome to Death by Cheeseburger, episode 11, sponsored by Dollar General and duct tape.
Hey, when I signed up for this fucking podcast, did the champ tell you that he knew anything about tech support?
Mike Tyson.
Did I tell you I'm from the Geek Squad,
It's a pleasure
motherfucker?
to see you again, Mike. How you been, Mike?
Man, I'm a little pissed off because the Facebook feed keeps getting fucked up.
Yeah, I can see that,
Mike
Mike.
Tyson tried to go on Facebook.com, watch Death by Cheeseburger. That's a hard word to say in a lisp.
Yeah, Mike.
Death by Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And then the motherfucker don't work, and I'm like, what the champ supposed to do now?
You've been avoiding the law enforcement lately, Mike?
I don't have to avoid no law enforcement. I just slip them a couple $100. They go the other way.
All right. So, what's your take on this Bill Cosby thing lately, Mike?
Fuck Bill Cosby.
Oh, Mike. I see.
They went and said that I raped a bitch. Now this motherfucker raped like 400 bitches over the course of 40 years.
40
and
years.
they were gonna vilify me.
Vilify you.
That bitch pissed me off. She got what was coming to her.
Oh, she did.
It's not like it was just fucking. I didn't just punch her for fun.
Okay.
You think I just did it for my health?
So she had to come.
No,
to
I'm not
Mike?
saying it's okay to beat a woman. Don't get me wrong. It's
I
not okay
understand,
to
Mike.
beat a woman.
I understand.
I fucked up. I did my time. Now Bill Cosby, is he even going to prison?
I think Bill Cosby's going to do some time. I think Bill Cosby's getting 20 at least.
That motherfucker better die in there.
Yeah, he's getting a 210 bit.
They should take me back.
They should take you back.
Yeah, put me right in a cell with Bill Cosby.
Now, Mike, let me ask you, what's your favorite thing on the menu at McDonald's?
Shamrock Shakes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Shamrock Shakes? I'm glad you got your voice back. I just really want to throw it out there now. I'm glad your voice is back.
Me
We
too.
miss Mike Tyson.
I've missed my voice.
I mean, and how this podcast is train wrecked and how everything has gone with our technical difficulties and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm glad Mike Tyson could show up and just go ahead and lighten the load of things.
Yeah.
I think sometimes
So,
Mike
all right.
Tyson help you out.
I think we're going to have to start winding this thing in a little bit since it hasn't gone very well. I mean, it's been entertaining, I
It's been
think.
fun as shit.
But
It's been interesting.
so business. There was two things I was trying to talk about. So one was the weight loss. I've been doing okay with that.
Yeah.
The other thing is we've talked about my other podcast, the Matt Signal, a few times. That got a little bit of activity on just out of the blue.
Yeah.
Someone went back and listened to them, and they're like, "You should do more of them." So I'm thinking about lighting that thing up again because
Okay,
I do
good.
usually half hour pods on that one. It's just whatever is going on,
I try to
whatever
do
I'm into.
Yeah, half hour to an hour from mine.
So I'm. It's probably gonna end up being whatever I'm into at the time. So if I'm watching like a TV series or I'm fucking, I'm digging the Avengers
Yeah.
or whatever, video games, fucking whatever's going on in my life, writing music, what I'm thinking about. I usually just sit down and do that thing pretty free flow.
I had someone tell me last night to change my solo podcast from stream of consciousness to stream of unconsciousness. And I should just go ahead and get really drunk while I'm ranting about things and then see how long it takes me to pass the fuck out.
Or you
from
could just do that
liquor.
sometimes and then title those ones Stream of Unconsciousness.
I could do that too.
Because I don't think you want to make that a habit.
I mean, I could do once a week and probably be fine without any negative
Yeah.
consequences.
But,
it probably wouldn't be a good thing to do in regular intervals. That's for sure.
So there is an impending return of the Matt Signal podcast.
Okay.
I think what I'm gonna do is it will be just straight audio most likely, and I will probably make it like Death by Cheeseburger presents
Yeah,
the Matt Signal, and I'm just gonna put it on the Death by Cheeseburger page.
go for it.
There's
Make it dope.
I don't know how regularly that's gonna be, so I'm not gonna fucking be like it's gonna be once a week on Thursdays at 7 p.m.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
don't have a time for mine.
we missed last week, and I didn't give a fuck.
It was for Mother's Day. You
I
to
had
do
shit
things.
to do, and yeah, we all had Mom's Day, so
I was looking at breastfeeding pictures on Facebook.
I don't even mind when we only do them every other week. I'm not saying we should definitely do them every other week,
Yeah.
but we're figuring the scheduling out, and eventually I might get to a point where I can be disciplined enough to stick to a schedule. Right now, ain't
Good to
that
know.
time. If
also-
you love me, that's part of why you love me. It's that's who I am.
I also want to mention that I still think we should do a Patreon eventually after 15 or
Eventually,
20
I
episodes
agree,
in.
but
yeah.
I think we need to worry more about like seeing what our demographics are and shit like that.
Ages 24 to 39.
No, and getting them up. Like we need
Kentucky loves
we
this.
need more numbers. We don't have enough support.
Kentucky
for
loves the shit out of
I guarantee you, out of the like 1,100 or whatever people that watched that one episode,
one Kentuckian would support us.
one or two people might go on a Patreon, and
That's
so
all we
we
need is
just
one
need to worry
Kentuckian to
about
change the
building our
world.
fan base, which brings me to a little bit more business. We're still doing the race to 100 on Facebook. A couple weeks ago, we got a good little push. We got like 15 out of nowhere.
We really did.
It was
After
awesome.
the episode, we got 15 likes.
So unfortunately, this isn't on Facebook. But yeah, dude, if you listen to the podcast, go to facebook.com/deathbycheeseburger, like our page, so that way you can be entered to win a $100 gift card. It's going to be a generic one, so you can use it any the fuck where you want.
At one time, we had YouTube set up for this too, but YouTube is fucking.
We'll get there, too.
Wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a rhyme. YouTube, we can get 120 videos or views in an episode,
And nobody subscribes
and nobody
to the channel.
subscribes. Or we can go ahead and get fucking 13 views and get one subscriber.
So,
and I have no idea. I can't call YouTube. I can't predict it. There's no way to successfully analyze what happens on YouTube.
No, because they change it up all the time, and like then they have rules for ad. Like the fact of the matter is, we're very much an explicit content podcast.
Very much so.
I'm not gonna clean my language up for this because that's not who I am.
I can't
And
compromise myself enough to want
This
to do it.
is a presentation of who we are and what we're thinking. At some point maybe we'll get more structured, but the swearing is always gonna be in.
Always.
I'm not suddenly gonna go turbo Christian. It makes it harder to get advertisers and stuff.
I understand, Turbo.
We're gonna have to find us some sponsors, probably externally,
More than likely.
through other means. But in the meantime, I think we just need to focus on growing our listener base, and then once we get there, then I think we can start focusing on the premium content.
Right.
Right now, we got to give away as much as we can, which is why I'm like, as much as I'd like to do every 2 weeks,
Sure.
I think that for the most part, we need to do once a week. And
Yeah.
I do need to be a little better about being consistent with when I post those. And I understand
You are
there's
really inconsistent.
certain,
You're not
yeah.
a man timetables are made for.
I hate timetables.
Apparently so.
I
Deadlines
don't
are
care.
Yeah.
Time is a fucking figment of our imagination,
It
and
truly
we
is.
all bow down to it and lick its hairy scrotum.
I haven't
and
owned
I
a watch in
fucking
7 years.
hate it.
I haven't
I
owned a watch in
fucking
7 years.
hate that I have to show up at fucking 4:59, and if I show up at 5, I'm in the office. It's fucking stupid, dude. Fuck you. How about I show up at 8 and I work till when I'm fucking done, and I give you the same amount of work? Who gives a shit? Fuck your timetable. I don't work with anyone that needs. I don't fucking do surgery.
I like how in our society 180 seconds is pretty much the epitome of on time and then reprisal and consequences.
Fuck your
a matter
what the
of seconds
fuck?
is what makes or breaks your fucking day. 2 to 3 minutes on whether or not you get a disciplinary referral from your job or you showed up on time and all of a sudden you're a great fucking guy.
All right, now I'm fucking fired up a little bit. So all right, what is it with people that we have this we just give in to the system that is when it's not good? I'm sorry.
'Cause we think
we
we
gotta
can never
go
design
bust
one.
our fucking asses 8 hours a fucking day, a third of your day. Guess what? Another third of that's supposed to be reserved for
Sleeping.
So you have 1/3 of your day to live your life, and that we let those motherfuckers pay us almost nothing.
Nothing.
There's so many more of us than there are of them. If we were just you know what? I'm sick of getting fucking ripped off. Let's just walk the fuck out. And everyone was just hey, corporations, this is suck our dicks day.
I think this might
This
be a
is
catalyst
fucking,
for communism.
this is suck our goddamn dicks day. You're going to pay us more or you're going to go fuck yourself because that shit ain't going to make itself.
I think
But
it might
no,
be a catalyst for
instead we all
communism.
fucking sit around like a bunch of fucking bitches and just do what we're told. And I'm not any better than anyone else on this. I do it every
Karl
fucking
Marx.
day. And it drives me insane from the time I punch in to
Stalin.
the time I punch
Stalin
out.
was
The
a
only
communist.
thing I fucking want to do is leave there. And then when I leave there, I'm so fucking
Castro.
tired and
He's still a
stressed
commie. I
out
think
that I
Castro's
can't be
commie.
productive in any other way. It's fucking stupid.
I don't know if
come
I know any
home.
other
I don't
communist
have the
dictators.
energy to work on my fucking art. I don't have the energy to fucking like
really need to learn
maintain
more
good
communist
relationships.
dictators
I
is
don't
what I
have
need
the
to do.
energy to go out and fucking talk to
Yeah.
anybody. I don't have the energy to go out to the bar. Like I don't fucking.
You should take
I
more
work
naps.
all day for nothing, dude. I take so many naps.
Dude,
That's not even the
You
point.
should
Like.
take more-
It's fucking stupid. Like
Yeah.
I sleep in naps right
You
now.
sleep
That's
in
what
naps.
it is.
All
It's
right,
like
yeah.
nap here, nap there.
Okay.
But like, why do we do it? Why? Because
it's
enough
what we're
people
told
won't
to.
listen to me, and it's what you want. Fucking order. You
It's
want to
'cause
be
you're
told what to
inundated
do.
from birth to go get a job, go get a home, and go make
You're
peace with
put
all
through
this
fucking
shit while you're
school
doing
where
it.
you're taught to work in a factory,
You're
and there's
brainwashed
hardly
from an
any
early
fucking
age to be-
factories
accept
left
this
out
shit.
there. It's fucking stupid. It's stupid. The whole goddamn thing is stupid, and we need to knock it the fuck off.
All of it's
Suck our
stupid.
dicks day 2018. Everybody get on board. Even chicks, you can put clits on your sign. Suck our clits day. That sounds even nicer.
I would
We
go to a
need
suck
more
our clits
money.
day. Personally, I think there needs to be more suck our clits days.
We need more money.
He needs money.
I need money.
He needs money. Is what we're saying.
The champ needs
Spon-
money too.
The champ needs money. We need sponsors. Apparently, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, sponsors. That'll help us out.
Suck our dicks day 2018.
I just spent $65 on benterhoon.com. I'm scared to death.
Yeah, scared
I'm
to
about to
death.
mow a lot of grass in this trailer park to make that $65.
Well, I got 20 for you.
That's what's up. We're almost a third of the way there.
You just holler. I got 20 for you every week if you want it, dude. Like, I hate like the pollen count and my eyes.
You have no idea. You know they had like this thing called what was it? Fever storm or something like that yesterday.
Fuck, man.
Where the pollen count was over like fucking 9 or on a 10 scale, and then it was
over 9,000.
something like that. And the storm makes it worse because the storm is breaking plants apart and shooting pollen throughout the air in the middle of a fucking storm. So now you have Mother Nature kicking your ass like with 2 avenues instead of the usual one at such a rate that like your fucking face is swollen, your eyes are watering, you're in the fucking hospital having asthma attacks, talking about making your last will and testament because you sniffed the air. The air is what did it.
Ain't that some shit?
The air.
Yeah.
The fucking air is what did it.
So that seems like a good place to wrap it
I'm
up.
good with that.
A big long rant.
I'm glad we got to talk about communism.
So that wasn't communism.
It was close.
No, because I think we should still have capitalism. I just think it's time to get with the times. Like shit costs more, we don't make any more.
Okay.
It's time to adjust. Like
It's time to adjust.
If we're gonna fucking make your bottom line for you, you got to take care of us. We got to be able to live a life.
There we go.
Like that's a fair thing to ask for. And I'm sick of people acting like, well, if you ask for some of the profits, the business will just take the jobs international. Oh, here's an idea. How about we expect our fucking representatives to make a goddamn law that says they're not allowed to ship their jobs out of the fucking country for that reason?
That'd probably be a better idea.
All right.
might eliminate
How
the
many
fight for
times do
15.
you hear about a company? Now I'm fucking ranting more. How many times do you hear about a company that posts a fucking
Weekly.
gains of fucking like or profit of like $89.4 billion annually, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so now it's the corporate responsibility to increase that number for the next fiscal year.
Uh-huh.
How about they made $89.4 billion?
Or
They
when
pay their employees $8.37.
Or when you have a company
they could
that
give
loses 2% in
everyone
profits.
They could give every person in the company a fucking raise.
Yeah.
How about we give them a fucking tax break on that? How about we give them a tax break on that? How about we quit telling corporations that they are fucking required to post a fucking net gain
Yeah.
every quarter and every fiscal year? So that way, if they go from 89.4 to 89.3, they don't fucking lay all their employees off to save fucking $400,000. They've got 89.3 fucking $billion.
Dollars.
They didn't do anything wrong.
They didn't do
It's
anything wrong.
fine. It's fucking fine. They don't need to lay anybody off.
it fine?
God damn it. They just need to pay
Astronauts.
their fucking employees enough to
I'd make
have
a
a
good
life
astronaut.
and give a fuck.
I'd make a really good astronaut.
That's all I'm asking for.
I like those companies out there who advertise like at the end of the year that they've lost they lost 2% on profits when they're like an $88 million.
So they
like,
fire the
gross thing.
CEO.
So they fire the CEO and like, oh, so you only made 80,000 or like $80 million this fucking year instead of 88 million. Oh, you must be fucking heartbroken.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Oh God.
over
Tell
here-
me more about the refrigerator box you're living
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Meanwhile, I'm over here being like, can I afford the $1.29 ramen this week, or is it the 88-cent ramen? Why don't we just go ahead and keep it fucking real?
Yeah. That's all. I'm just saying
That's it.
it should be a fair exchange.
It totally
Money for
should.
time and the way they're doing it now ain't fair.
Yeah.
All right, that's political, and you don't give a shit, or you do, and I just pissed you off if you're really conservative, and if you're really liberal, you're like, yay, well, I got some shit to say to you too.
Our audience seems to be
Anyway,
a mixture of both.
On another day, we'll talk about something that I piss you off with. Oh, I already talked about the speech thing a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you pussies. Anyway. Hey, I'm just kidding. I love you. We're going to get out of here. This has been Death by Cheeseburger. Go fuck yourselves.
We love